Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here, and it is March 22nd, 2022. Watching ESPN, of course, this morning, First Take, and they had a clip on there. You guys got to watch this. It's pretty funny because JJ Reddick takes a shot at Stephen A. Smith. It was pretty funny. So basically, are Boston Celtics the team to beat in the East? That's what they're talking about. And I get where they're coming from. You can't disagree with that fact because the way that they're playing, that defense is phenomenal. Reminds me of the 07-08 defense that the Celtics won the championship. You cannot deny the fact that Boston is, really, really good. First half of the season, they sucked, 100%. But the second half, I noticed that ever since they traded away Dennis Schroeder and got back Daniel Theis, whatever, they have been playing phenomenal basketball. And that's the question. Are they the team to beat in the East? And, anyone can argue that fact. I get it because of the way that they're playing, but you cannot say that with a straight face because of the fact that there's so many elite teams in the East. Like, I swear, I've never seen the East this packed and this damn good in a long, long time. And I'm not just talking about the Nets and Kyrie if Kyrie was to play. I'm talking about Philly. I'm talking about Miami, Chicago. I know I'm leaving out some teams. The Bucks, the reigning champions. Cleveland, they were doing really good up until Jared Allen got injured, and he's come back for sure. But Charlotte's starting to pick it up. It's pretty and the Raptors are just killing it now. So you can't deny the fact that Boston is elite. Are they the team the team in the East to beat? Check out this clip and let's discuss it after, like we always do. Jag from Jaggy Sports.
Good to have you with us.
What's happening, y'all?
We will get to you in just a second. I'm going to start with JJ here. JJ, are the Celtics the team to beat now in the East?
I don't think they are. I've been saying this for the last few weeks. Miami is, to me, the most dangerous team in the East. Last night's loss was a little concerning, obviously losing to Philly without Joel and without James Harden. But I think we've all overlooked the Bucks. They're 32-9 when the big three play. Mm-hmm. They just got Brook Lopez back. They're the defending champs. To me, those two teams are probably the two best teams in the East.
Miami and Milwaukee?
Miami and Milwaukee. Okay. Celtics are great. Best defensive team in the league. They've been on a tear. They're 27-7 since January 6th. Right. They're great. My concern with them in a playoff series is the nature of their offense. It's not their defense. They're so disruptive. They switch 1 through 5. They take you out of what you're trying to run. But the real issue to me is half-court offense. The nature of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum creating tough shots and them really not having a high-volume knockdown shooter. They've got two guys shooting over league average, Peyton Pritchard and Grant Williams, but those aren't high-volume guys. And as I know from my own career, getting spot-up playoff threes is a very different thing than regular season spot-up threes.
Mm-hmm. I feel where you're coming from, but I'm going to respectfully disagree.
All right.
And I'm going to tell you that I know you're trying to be slick because, see, when people are debating, Molly, I don't know why you haven't figured this out yet. So when they're going up against me,
teach me,
when
please.
they're going up against me, yeah, I am.
I don't
teaching
watch enough debates
over
the last 6 years.
No, you just
10 hours a week.
You just choose to ignore me when you want, and I'm just not letting you get away with that today.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that JJ tried to pull the okey doke. So what happens is he wants to make the argument for Milwaukee and Miami.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm going to make my argument about Boston. But he talked about Boston. It's not going to work because you didn't do it with enough passion and enough validity as far as I'm concerned. The Boston Celtics could potentially win this conference. I'm telling you this right now.
But I agree with you on that, but are they the team to beat?
Right now, I think they are. right now. That could change because it's fluid.
Wasn't a lot of confidence in that argument.
Let me explain. Because it's the season, and you got to wait. It's 82 games. I'm being very serious here. Over the last 22 games, they've had a 9-game winning streak, a 5-game winning streak, and now a 4-game winning streak. Over the last 22 games, these brothers show up. And when you talk about what they do defensively, here's why we can't ignore that. Come playoff basketball, I like you. Sometimes I don't like the system, especially at the beginning of the season. Boston, I totally agree with you. They was one of the worst teams to watch. Jason Tatum, it's your turn. Jaylen Brown, it's your turn. We'll squeeze Marcus Smart in every now and then. Now, Marcus Smart called them out. Then ultimately they had to have a team meeting. Then ultimately Tatum and Brown had to get together, and they had to be committed to playing together because you obviously need a tandem in the NBA if you're going to have any kind of really sustained success. But Udoka, what he has done, I can't say enough. This guy is a legitimate top 2 coach of the year candidate. When you look at what he has done, this team, look at them defensively. They're like a bunch of piranhas. They switch everywhere. You've got 5 guys. They get out on shooters better than anybody that I have seen. Now we come to Miami and Milwaukee to bring up your point. It ain't about Giannis, because Giannis going to do what he does in the inside and in the open court, although he's suspect from the perimeter. But we know Giannis is going to give you his numbers. Jrue Holiday, Middleton, what they can give you, who's a team that could combat that because of their defensive prowess? That would be the Boston Celtics. When you look at Miami, with Hero, with Butler, even with Bam, because he's really an undersized, big, very athletic, great in open court, stuff like that. But you got a Robert Williams, a guy like that there, who can make some noise for you. The pickup of White has really brought this team together as well and elevated their play defensively. And in the meantime, while all of that has transpired, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown has elevated their level of play. So I want to see it be more consistent. Please don't get me wrong, because you weren't that way at the beginning of the season. You're flowing now over the last 30-plus games. I get all of that. The playoffs are a different beast. But when it comes to the playoffs, you got to remember, the game slows down a little bit. You don't get as many open court opportunities. Defense are able to get back, set their defense right, and what have you. We know this about playoff basketball. And nobody wants Boston to do that. Because if Boston does that, that makes their defense even more formidable.
Okay.
And that's how I look at it.
All right.
So, yeah, basically, they are elite. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, playing phenomenal basketball. So, anybody's ball game, I'm thinking. And, you know, don't let Stephen A. hype you up about this. About him saying, oh yeah, this is phenomenal basketball kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get it. They are a phenomenal basketball team, but have they made it deep into the playoffs? No. But then again, they could. They could this year, right? It's anybody's ball game. Like, Miami, they're the first seed. The Nets, KD drops 37 points last night. Toronto Raptors, you know, they just beat Embiid and Harden the other night too. Philly, Tyrese Maxey got 28 points last night. So I swear I've never seen the East this competitive before. And let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious as to who you think is the team in the East to beat. Is it Boston? Is it Philly, Nets, Raptors? Miami, the Bucks, like, you know, for example, Bucks still have pretty good defense, right? And, you know, I think with Giannis and Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday still back together, they got their core, their chemistry's intact. Brook Lopez is coming back, and George Lopez is still there. Serge Ibaka was a nice additional piece to that roster. You know, they needed another big man, and they're coming back with another big man with Brook Lopez. And at the end of the day, it just it's going to be very, very exciting in the Eastern Conference. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea who's gonna come out of the East. I had my pick at Miami. But then, you know, you got to take into consideration Boston's up and coming rise, because they're clicking at the right time, and that defense, that defense is crazy. If you get a chance, watch the next Boston Celtics game, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let me know what you guys think. Are Boston Celtics the team in the East to beat? And if so, or sorry, if not, who is? Jag from Jaggy Sports.